Let me ask you a question. How are you going to have a conversation with people? A conversation about really, really important stuff. A conversation about the future of our country. How are you going to have that conversation with people who believe that human lizard hybrids are running a pedophile ring out of a pizza parlor and they happen to be higher ups in the Democratic National Committee? How are you going to speak with those people? You can't talk to those people. Those people are nuts. Those people are crazy. And yet, those people represent an astonishing portion of the electorate in the United States. And the reason why people are that crazy, the reason why people support Donald Trump is because Donald Trump offers simple answers to an extremely and becoming more increasingly complex world. Every single day, the people that believe the lizard people story are being deluged with information and revelations and changes in their culture that happen to all of us on a daily basis. Even their theology, which implies that there is a man in a white robe in the sky that's watching over everything, is being challenged by quantum physics on a daily basis that is leading us to believe that the universe and that our consciousness is an expression of energy. I don't know how those two things are inconsistent with each other. I think they make perfect sense lined up side by side. But it's a complexity that can't be overcome by these people. Certainly, their way of thinking lacks the capacity to deal with increasing modern complexity. So if you ask yourself, what's the difference with these people now, between now and 20 years ago? Well, there was no internet to speak of 20 years ago. There was no explosion of information 20 years ago. There was no cultural paradigm shift 20 years ago. And things were appreciably less scary 20 years ago. They were still there. They were still crazy. They still thought that Mitt Romney and Newt Gingrich, the funny named Republicans, Reince Priebus, where do they come up with these names? Who is naming these people these things? I don't. Anyway, beyond the names. Those people they thought had answers. They didn't have answers. The only answer to talking with the lizard people is you can't talk to the lizard people. You're never going to be able to reason with lizard people. The real lizard people are Republicans. They're the lizard people. We're the normal people. We're the ones that aren't frickin' crazy. Don't try to reason with people that believe in lizard-human hybrids. Stop it. That's why the Lincoln Project is eating the Democratic Party's lunch in messaging, because they just got done talking to the lizard people for 3 decades and convincing the lizard people that voting against their own economic interests because black and brown people are out there and they're going to steal your lizard eggs is a problem. That's why Rick Wilson and Steve Schmidt are owning the messaging of this campaign. Because they've been doing it for 30 years. They just switched. The light switch went off. And now they're doing it for us because the crazy threshold reached a certain level that the Lincoln Project just said, well, let's flip the switch and now we're Democrats. They're not Democrats. The Democrats are to blame for this. Stop thinking that you can rationally have a conversation with people that believe that human lizard hybrids are running the DNC and a pedophile ring. You can't. Steve Schmidt knows it. Rick Wilson knows it. And now, hopefully, you know it too. Vote. That's how you get rid of the lizard people. you vote. So, if you don't want lizard people running your country for another 4 years, vote for Joe Biden, as well as every single other Democrat on the ticket. You know why? Because they're not lizard people.